Alright, I haven't recorded any sort of covers in a while, but this time I'll be doing a tutorial. Somethingsmithy asked if I could do a tutorial on my Skrillex cover of Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. So I'm going to try and just hop into that, and hopefully for both beginning and more experienced piano players this will make some sense, and you guys will be able to start playing some dubstep on piano. I don't know many other songs, but hopefully it'll get you started into it. So the song, as you know, starts out with that intro and then goes into this sort of like vocal clippings that Skrillex is really into, that are basically incoherent, and then into the drop, which most covers don't actually include, as is sort of expected when you don't really know how to do that sort of thing on a piano. So we'll just get started. I'll start with the left hand first. It's pretty simple for most of the melody of the song, except for the drops where you're playing the bass and everything. You start out with, I don't know what key it's in, because it's been ages since I've done music theory, but you do a, I guess that's E flat major chord with the left hand, and for those who don't know, that's E flat, G, and B flat. So I normally play it right up, like below the middle. That's your first chord. Then you do just a normal F major chord, F, A, C. Then you do a G minor, which is G, B flat, D. And then you do, this is B flat major, but which standard you would be playing B, D, F, like this. But it's a lot easier to actually play, since you're playing the G flat major like this, G, B flat, D. You can actually just change the G down to an F, and so that way you're still playing your B flat major, but all you have to do is move one note. So it's a lot more convenient, and you just rinse and repeat. It's really simple. So I'll just play that all together. And so that will end up getting coupled with the right hand, which for the intro to the song starts on a G. I'll play it down lower here, but obviously you're playing with that with the right hand, at least how I do it. And so that'll start with a G. And yeah, I'll just read off the notes as I play them slower, and then I'll play it normal speed, and then I'll play it together with the left hand. Alright, so you have G, F, G, B flat, G, D, C, B flat, G, sorry, excuse me, F, B flat, F, E flat, D, C, B flat, sorry, you're supposed to go B flat, D, B flat, G, and then way up, G, D, B flat, G, then back up, F, D, B flat. That was a little confusing for me to just read them off all together, so that is the general premise of it though. So you're going that might be easier for me to just type out in a description or anything, but that's just the introductory part, and you'll play that a couple times, and together with both the left hand, which again is notice there's a pause, the G flat, or sorry, the G minor goes actually for longer before you go into the last chord, which is the B flat major. You can play it again. Obviously, when I just start the intro, it starts off really quiet, it's just simple, and then you transition into like either playing the chords in intervals, which is just playing the notes like this and everything. And then when I do that, I normally add in the 8th note, which is just the first. So for E flat, it'll just be the high E. For F, it'll be the high F. G minor, another high F, and it'll actually, or sorry, the high G. And then for B flat, you'll end up just playing the regular F that you would be playing if you weren't playing it in a different format. So again, it's like I talked about, the sort of build up, you can start playing the chords multiple times, playing in intervals. So I'm sorry if that part, I got a couple mistakes in there, but I'm not sure if I'm going to re-record this. Obviously you can listen to the notes that I was literally playing, and then just ignore the slight slip-ups. I think I correct myself on all of them, but in any case, you can hear what it sounds like, and just sort of like re-listen to the parts as you get them down. The second part keeps the same chords, so if you need to know those, you can look back in the video. And again, I'll be playing up here, but I can, for the sake of the tutorial, play right here. And that's the sort of choppy vocal part. So, there are sort of embellishments you can add, obviously, but I'm just giving this rundown of like the basic melody so that everyone can learn just how to play it, and then you can add on your own style however you please and sort of like make it a little more interesting, because obviously there's not one set way of playing something. So you have B flat, you start with that, and jump up to F, D, and you play that a couple times, and then down to C, B flat, C, D, E flat, D, B flat, F, so B flat, A, G, and then F, and then G, B flat, and then you essentially repeat. You can also add in, you're actually doing the B flat major chord in an interval right there if you want. And then you can go up the next time you play it. And sort of, you just, instead of going down, you just stay on the B, or the B flat. So then, how that sounds with the left hand, which as I mentioned is the same. So those are the two main intro things that you would ever really need to know. So then you actually get into the drop. And so this is where most tutorials, I guess, would stop or go on to the sort of like outro section of the song, where they normally just play the intro and then go straight to the outro. But for the dubstep part, it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. And so the way I actually get to the drop, you can play, here I'll just run through the intro, and then as I get to the drop I'll explain that. So this was the part I just sort of finished explaining, you can transition instantly into a, you play octave G, way up high, and you can add in the B flat, because you are playing a G minor chord. So. And then, again, since your left hand is playing the same, you'll play a B flat major, and then go up with your right hand and play G8, which would just be G and then the high G, and add in a B flat if you want. And that's sort of the like yes, oh my god part of the song, where the girl screams. The left hand, this part's where it gets way easy. You might think the dubstep part's difficult, but it's really easy once you get the hang of it. The left hand is just playing 3 notes in an octave, so everything you play, you're playing down or up, depending on which way you're looking at it, but you play G, A flat, and then A. It's literally just that over and over. And remember that octave you just played for the drop? You're actually just playing that down another octave, so right here. And then so again, you're going up to the A flat. Your right hand just begins alternating the notes between what you're actually playing on your left hand, so you're playing almost exactly the same thing at the same time, except your left hand is going like either just pressing down on the keys like that or just sustaining it, and your right hand is alternating between the octave. So again, so you have your, then you're playing the same thing as up high, and then you go up to the A, and the same thing, you're playing the A octave alternating on your right hand. And of course, as you get more comfortable with it, you can go faster, you can do more stuff like that. But then, like dubstep songs are sort of like formulated to do, it cuts back into the original like melody of the song. So what I normally do is I play 4 of these, so and I play that sequence 4 times, and then I switch back literally to the same chords and everything that I was doing before. If you forget, you can go back into the intro section, but they're the same things. And what you want to do is sort of cut from the dubstep as smoothly back to the melody as possible, and then back to the dubstep. So it's like those brief little interludes. So I'll play it really fast and then explain how exactly that works. of get the idea how it's going back and forth between the parts of the song that you've learned how to play by now. And so how you actually do that, you'll notice I play the sequence 4 times with the right hand attached to it. So say we're now at the 3rd one. So that's the end of the 4th one. You literally just transition straight into the chords. So you'll start with the E flat major again. And obviously you're playing either the melody or the one of those melodies. Either one doesn't matter for the left hand, you're playing the same thing. So, except instead of finishing, so you'll end on the F chord, then you go straight back into the octave. And you repeat the sequence 4 times, and then the next time you come up on it, so say we're at the 3rd again. End of the 4th, and then so now you're going into the other intro part. Again, ending on the F, so you don't actually end up playing the 4 chords, you just do the E and then the F, the E flat and then the F. And you're not even playing the whole intro sequence, so you just cut off. When you learn the intro sequence, just cut off at this part. And then straight into the octaves once again. Now I haven't specifically looked up how many times during the song this actually would go on, especially in a piano equivalent, but it's really simple given what I just explained, how to get back into the whole melody. You know how there's always sort of breaks in between drops where it goes back into the melody and then it drops again, stuff like that. And so instead of transitioning after the first 2 chords and the beginning of the melodies that you sort of end up cutting off before going back into the dubstep, you're just going to end up playing the entire melody with the 4 chords, and then you're sort of back in. So say this was the last time. And so you see how that sort of seamlessly weaves itself back in to the original melody. And conveniently enough, sort of leads to the outro, which again has that sort of strange vocals where it sounds like they're saying something like, you don't, what are they saying? You don't need to hide, my friend, because I'm just like you. So so again from that, coming back in. So you're playing the whole melody. And so here's the outro. You're going to do same chords, just as always, the E flat major, starting those 4 chords and repeating. So G, A, B flat. F. G, B flat, D, B flat. So it's... G, A, B flat, F, F, C, B flat, C, D, C, D, F, B flat, and then you can repeat that. And then it's sort of, I fade it out with this like, which is just this little like fifth right here, this like G minor fifth. You're still playing the same left hand chords. So that's G, B flat, A, B flat, C, B flat, C, B flat, D, B flat, C, D. And then you can jump up an octave. And it just sort of goes like that. You can do a little improvisation. You can just sort of, you can switch between octaves, like. And that's essentially, those are all the pieces you would need for playing Scary Monsters. Typically, you would, once you go back into the melody, you could play those intro things, and a second time before you go into the drop again. And then by the time you finish the second dubstep part, you would then transition into the outro thing that I just explained. And I guess that's everything you need to know. Any questions, any suggestions, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, anything like that. So hopefully I'll be doing more of these in the future, but we'll see. I'm sorry if that was a little lengthy, but just making sure it covered everything that you would need to know. So, perfect. Good luck, and feel free to post your videos of you taking this tutorial and trying it for yourself. Thanks. Take care.